So close, but not quite. The Sharks go to Vancouver and take on one of the best teams in the NHL and fall. We'll break this one down, how the Sharks were in it for 2 periods, 39 minutes and 59 seconds, and more right now here on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening to you. It is Monday night, November 20th, 2023, and your San Jose Sharks lose by a score of 3-1 to the Vancouver Canucks. Yes. Did somebody say Vancouver? Yes, we did.
Did somebody say
Vancouver? And we welcome you to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks postgame. We do this after every game, of course. So if you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow Sharks fans all over the world and in Sharks territory on the YouTube page or the app. And, of course, follow us on the social at all the social media outlets possible. More coming soon, maybe. Find everything at tealtownusa.com. And if you want to support the pod, you can hit us up on Venmo at tealtownusa or hit us up in the super chat. So with that, I say good evening to you too, Mr. Ian Reed. Ian, evening, sir.
Hello.
At least it wasn't 10-1.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I'm kind of just scrolling my Twitter feed right now, and like I feel like I'm like on a different planet than everyone else. I didn't really have much of an issue with this game. I thought they played I mean, look after last game, the bar was very, very low.
True.
And I will admit that. But I didn't think they played a particularly bad game. Now, when they fucked up, it definitely bit them in the ass. You know what? I thought this was a pretty enjoyable hockey game. I mean, I thought you kind of got everything you needed from it, right? I thought it was an enjoyable hockey game. I thought the Sharks played. They played well enough, I thought. And they lost. So, no points. Entertaining hockey game, breezy hockey game, too. Yeah. Like, I feel like this game was over so fast.
Well, we didn't have the last TV timeout, but we just played right through it. So that's...
Well, not even that, but I just mean like there wasn't like a ton of whistles. There wasn't, it wasn't a lot of rough stuff going on. It was just pretty much, play.
Right. Yeah. So lock and load and let's get at it. Sharks come into Vancouver, beating the Blues. Cunnin was on a 3-game goal streak. Hoffman had a 2-game goal streak. Vancouver's been unreal this year. And of course, beating the Sharks the last time they played each other 10-1. And it just seems like, it was a pretty solid game, but they missed their opportunities. Ferraro takes that cross-checking call, and then you see a 2-on-1 Hertl feeds Eklund, and it just go. And Eklund's gonna be punching the airline seat tonight because he knows he had a chance to be SportsCenter top 10. So
what is that going to be, like a 10-minute flight?
Pretty much. So he might be punching the whole way to Seattle.
Yeah, probably.
But that's a tough one to take. And then you get into the second period and you have the goal by Fabian Zetterlund, which, let's we'll go looking. We have screenshots, everyone, because it is goaltender interference. Zetterlund goes through the crease to drive by the net. He doesn't go in without any Vancouver player, pushing him in. And
yeah, I feel like I'm on Mars and everyone else is on another planet here, because like a lot of people are like, oh, he got pushed in and I didn't really see enough content to warrant like that. Like, it sucks. The way that Demko kind of spins, obviously, like it makes it pretty easy call for the referee.
Yeah,
I mean, it's goaltender interference. I don't know what to tell you. Like it, it was goaltender interference. It was the right call.
Right.
like I don't know. I there's a lot of like, no, he was pushed in or whatever, and I'm like, no, it was goaltender interference. Like, it sucks because, I like Eklund goals as much as the next person, but I don't know. To me, it was pretty clear cut goaltender interference. People can disagree with me all they want, but that's the call on the ice. So
sure, and it sucks, and we've seen it go both ways.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, it was called no goal. And what happens next? Of course, the Canucks score. Quinn Hughes, gets his career high tying 8th goal to make it 1-0. And that guy, you talk about a guy who put the C on it and just rose to the occasion. Quinn Hughes has had a hell of a season so far. Heck,
yeah. Like, is there a Hughes brother that's not having a ridiculous season right now?
True.
It's so ridiculous. Look, that was a really, really nice shot. The only thing that really bugs me about that goal is Blackwood's like super deep in his net for that goal. I'd like to see him out a little bit more.
Just a scotch, because that might get a piece of it out.
People are going to get mad at me because, Mackenzie Blackwood is like the patron saint of goaltending suddenly, and you can't say anything remotely critical of him, but I thought he was really deep in the net. And I'm not saying like Mackenzie Blackwood is the reason they lost this game, although maybe you'll get that impression as the show goes on.
So that made it 1-0 Vancouver. The Canucks get into some penalty trouble, including the 5-minute match penalty to Hoglander. There's Hertl smiling with Prince Harry. There you go. All right. Did you happen to see that? Yeah. Okay. Cool. But wrong clip there, Eric. Way to go. But the the Hoglander slew foot on LeBanc. And they called it a match penalty intent to injure on there. Obviously, you don't want slew foots in this game, and that was chicken shit.
Yeah, I look at it. It's to me like it was an easy call for the referees. Like that is the most slew foot of slew foots. Like it's going to be interesting because obviously like they didn't call it, like they called it intent to injure. So it's going to obviously go to the Department of Player Safety, and I don't know how it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it because again, former players. And let me tell you something about hockey players. If there is something that we all universally despise, it's a slew foot. Like nobody likes the slew foot. It's dirty as fuck. So I'm going to be curious to see, how they, how the player safety looks at this and to see if it actually gets anything else. And I'm curious because again, being run by former players generally really dislike a slew foot. Like it's something that, I think players just in general kind of despise. And if you do it, like you are scum of the earth for the rest of the night.
Absolutely. And you should be, because nobody wants to be taken out. You could break your pelvis bone, your backbone, neck, head. If you hit your head on the ice, it could be potentially serious. The problem is that it's against the Sharks, so it'll be maximum allowable fine because, that's how things go these days now for San Jose. And it got even worse, folks, because, at 19:59, Sam Lafferty bangs home a shorthanded goal on a 5-minute major. Ian, I'll set you up before I go off, but your thoughts on the 2-0 goal for Vancouver?
I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around on here, obviously, but my first thought was, what in the fuck is Blackwood doing? Blackwood, there's no reason for him to play the puck in this situation. And the whole play gets really scrambly because Blackwood kind of goes out there and plays the puck and didn't really need to play the puck. And then everyone's kind of like, he played the puck to stop his own defenseman from getting the puck, I guess. I don't know, man. Like, what was he doing? I don't know what he was doing. Like, it was really, really dumb. Now, was there a lot of really dumb shit that happened after Blackwood played the puck? Sure. But I thought that play was a lot more scrambly than it needed to be. And it starts with Blackwood playing the puck. That's just, those are just facts. You can get mad on Twitter all you want. Those are facts. Like
it gave me Urbe playing the puck vibes. It gave me Sharks 1993 power play vibes, where you were like, what are we doing? It gave me we're playing Vegas vibes, because you know how we love to give Vegas goals at the end and beginning of periods. This is,
but it's
you
bad,
can't
right?
let
Because
up.
like his defenseman should be like his, like, you know, one
Thank
of his defensemen should be like, I've got this, you know, like there should be more communication there, and you can tell like sometimes they just don't communicate on the ice.
Which is mind-boggling in that sense too, because one of the things Brett Hedican has always preached: the best thing that you do on the ice that's free is communication. And with a few seconds left, I don't care if it's like 5 seconds before the end of the period or 5 seconds into the period. It's, what are you guys doing? You need to communicate no matter what. What that did there, because of laziness and questionable playing, cost you the game.
I mean, it definitely didn't help. It didn't help. Like, oh, it didn't help. I mean, it's. I don't know if they were gonna. Even if they don't allow that goal, like I think with the way Vancouver played the third, that I don't know. I still think Vancouver probably comes away with the win here, but it was definitely like it set them super on the back foot, right? I don't know. It's dumb. Like it was a lot of dumb all around. Again, like, you know, I think if you're not, you know, it causes a scramble situation there. I don't think, you know, obviously Blackwood doesn't get enough of the initial shot, and then the puck ends up behind him, which, you know, makes it an easy tap in for the Canucks. But again, there's a whole lot of puck watching going on there, and sometimes you just don't need to play the puck.
You need to play the puck. You need to give a damn. You need to play a full 60 or a full 20 in this matter, because it'll bite you in the ass. And the kids, they need to learn this down the road, because it's unacceptable. But, you know, it sucks.
Yeah.
So you go into the third period. Hertl gets the power play goal. Unfortunate bounce rebound from Tyler Myers in a place where the sun don't shine, but at least they got on the board.
Yeah, I mean they again, it was I mean it was good to see that they actually took advantage of like being on the power play for 5 minutes. Like it's nice that they didn't come away from it just being down a goal. But I thought like once that happened, the Canucks really just took over this game.
Yeah, and Vancouver shut it down. They get a third goal from JT Miller, picking up the rebound right in front of the crease. I don't know where the defense was again there, but they bang one home to make it 3-1, and then we decide just to play like 8 minutes of hockey with no whistles, or just kept going on and on and on with no TV timeout. And I thought the Sharks had some decent shots once they pulled the goalie. Unfortunately, you have Hoffman taking an ill-advised high stick on Roenick, and
the most high sticking of high sticks that ever high sticked. Like the like on the broadcast, it was so funny because like I don't know, just the way it's like, well, I don't know, maybe this and maybe that's, like it's a fucking high stick, like just call it what it, and for to Cruz's credit, he kind of did, but it's just whatever.
Yeah. So that kind of ruined the chances. In fact, it was so bad that Quinn decided to put Blackwood back in. So that wrapped things up. So the Sharks still 0 on the road, losing 3-1 to Vancouver.
I mean, I'll take this over last year, right? Like last year, it was just misery at SAP Center. At least, like, say what you want about how shit this team is. At least the home fans have been the ones to enjoy the wins, and it's not just watching it on, you know, the 7 people that are going to Sharks games. You know, they've been rewarded with some wins this year. So I mean, that's a positive.
I'm sorry, I have to do these shows, so I can't go to all the games to add one on to the to the attendance for that matter. Let's get to the comments from the locker room. Hertl saying, we were in the game all 60 minutes, but we know the power play needs to be better. We've been saying that since 1991, but I digress. We're standing and flat-footed. We need to come with more speed, be faster, and more hungry.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's that. I think the second Canucks goal was the kind of the epitome of that, right? Like, and I don't want to beat this over the head too much because
beat it, dude.
No, I mean we've already covered it. Like, I don't need to re-dissect this goal, but I think obviously a lot of guys stopped skating on that play, and that's what happened there. I mean, it was miscommunication followed by just kind of everyone watching the puck and not moving their feet.
I mean, we saw that in Nashville. That cost them. You saw them flat-footed. I remember the Nashville one where the equipment manager gets to stick to Evangelista and he goes in and scores. These mental errors have to stop because you don't want this to be developing into any of the other players down the road in this sense. So, from Fabian Zetterlund, when we play hard with speed, we're a tough line to play against.
Yeah, look, I like the Hertl, Eklund, Zetterlund line for the most part. I think it played well. I know a lot of people are really heated with Hertl right now, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm not there.
He's got.
I think there's so much. I think there's so many other players that on this team that deserve far more hate than Hertl seems to get now. But I get it. He's the only real star player on the team at this point, right? So the focus is going to be on him until Couture gets back, and we can all go back to bashing Couture like good Sharks fans we are.
Oh, bashing Couture. I mean, that seems like it's just a hockey puck to his mouth all the time. I mean, let's be honest here. Then David Quinn jumped in saying, I liked our first two periods until the shorthanded goal. Then we're sleeping on the changes and taking a too many men call. Again, mental errors are just killing this team. We played slow, made bad decisions. When you're turning it over this much, teams will take advantage and jam it down your throat. Oh. Thank goodness this is called After Dark. All right. Thanks, David, for that one. We continue on talking about Ahotyuk. Nikita just keeps getting better, works hard, very coachable. Good to see him taking advantage of the opportunity. And, of course, most importantly, LeBanc should be fine. Hopefully he's okay. That's still a chicken shit call. We'll see how big the fine is tomorrow. The too many men wasn't a young mistake. It was a veteran mistake. So blame going all around on this one. So yeah. So that's what it is. Kind of going through the chat here. Denver Doyle. People who are hating Hertl are dumbasses. It kind of goes with what you were saying, Ian. He's got 7 points in his last 8 games.
I don't think, like, I just think he's taking a lot of, like, I'm not saying, like, again, right? Like, I kind of joked earlier how, like, Mackenzie Blackwood is now like the patron saint of goaltending and is completely above critique. Like, I'm not saying like Hertl's game has been perfect, and there's definitely things in tonight's game that were frustrating, but I just, like, I don't know, the way I see some people go after him though, I'm like, are we watching the same game? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to see it, and there's different pairs of teal tinted glasses, it seems. Nice plug.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, I again, right? Like, I'm not saying he's been perfect. Like, there's one play where I really liked Hertl. It was, I think, at the end of the first period where he kind of went in and kind of just slowed everything down. He kind of just stopped, but not like, but I liked the play because obviously it allowed people like around him to kind of get in a position, his line, but also, he was basically daring the defender to come to him because Hertl still got the speed. Like, Hertl can still move.
Right.
And I liked it because, like, not only did it kind of freeze the defense in place because they didn't want to open any lanes but they had to keep track of their own player. he kind of dared the defender to kind of come to him, and it turned into a really good play for the Sharks. It didn't end in a goal, but I really like that play.
Yeah,
I wish I had.
it just seems like it's it's like you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life, or the facts of Hertl lives. Yeah. Hashtag fun must be always. But yeah, going through the chat here, like as Swift Shark says, it's an improvement over 10-1.
Yeah, like I mean, I thought it was an entertaining game. Like
Yeah.
I'm not mad at this game at all. Like it was, again, like I've said this a billion times, right? Like the thing that you want when we're in this situation is I just want to enjoy the game and not feel like I wasted my time. And tonight was an entertaining hockey game. Like I was really happy with how the Sharks played. I'm not crushed that they lost. Obviously, that's the whole point of the season. And like the time. I it wasn't like I'm sitting here going, God, is this fucking game over yet? Like, let's do the show. Let's go to bed. Like that wasn't like how I felt tonight. And there's definitely been times this season where I'm like, just fucking end so we can do the show and I can go to bed.
Right.
But tonight was an entertaining hockey game, man. Vancouver's a lot of fun to watch too. Like they're a lot of fun to watch. And that was, I'm glad the Sharks played them. I thought it's as well as they did, but I don't think the end result was ever really in question.
No. Oh, of course not. Logan Teal saying Hughes for Norris. I think he's already got it locked up more than Erik Karlsson did last year at this point, barring something drastic.
He might win the Hart too.
Yeah, I was going to say he's probably on the case for that. How much will it hurt, though, that Vancouver has, like, what is it, 3 or 4 of the top 5 point scorers in the NHL? I think they're all tied at 29 with Pasternak, or at 28.
Yeah, but I think as the season, look at the one thing with the Vancouver Canucks is everything they shoot at the net's going in right now. And at some point, that's going to stop.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
This can't be sustainable, and
it might be. I mean, look at Seattle did the same thing last year, and they didn't really stop for them until they were into the playoffs, and then it kind of came to a crushing end. I mean, it might, but I think that at some point, everything will stop going in, and they'll have to work a little bit more for it. But the way Quinn Hughes plays, like I think that he's such a special player. Who, like, and again, I think everyone knew he was good, but like, he's really good. Like, he's Cale Makar good, and I didn't think Cale Makar was gonna have, like, when Cale Makar came in, I'm like, this guy's gonna like just win. He's gonna have like a Lidstrom hold on the Norris, and maybe not. And that's nothing like. And this is obviously isn't a slight of Cale Makar, who I think is really, really good. But man, Quinn Hughes is gonna definitely challenge him for that Norris domination, which is gonna be fucking amazing to watch as just a hockey fan.
It's gonna be nice and incredible competition because you had Hedman kind of have that stretch. You had Burns and Karlsson be in the talk. Now you're gonna have Cale Makar. You have Quinn Hughes. You can. There was even some talk for Vince Dunn for Seattle last year. Adam Fox with the Rangers. The defense position has kind of started to evolve a little bit more again to be more offensive.
Oh yeah, like I've said this on other shows too. Like the stay-at-home defenseman is dead. He doesn't exist anymore. Like if you can't make a good first pass or skate the puck out of the zone, it doesn't matter how many shots you block. If you can't get the puck out of your own zone, you're not going to live long in the National Hockey League unless you're on a team like the Sharks. That's the only place that there's room for that guy.
Who scratched Vlasic and has Mario Ferraro leading the league in blocks, but...
Yeah. Great. And people will point that, oh, man, look at Mario Ferraro blocking shots. What a fucking monster. Yeah, because he can't get the fucking puck out of his own zone.
No one can. That's one of the biggest problems early on in this season for the Sharks. And it's gotta get better. It's just
Yeah,
got
I
to
mean,
get
it's
better.
gonna. I mean, like I think the one thing is like if you want to talk about like youth movement, like the blue line's where it's happening with the Sharks more so than the forward group.
And
Like
most
look
of
up
it's
and
not
down that
here.
blue line. No, look at the current blue line.
You have a Hochtiuk, you
Mm-hmm.
have Ferraro,
Yep.
you have, why am I drawing a blank?
Emberson.
Emberson.
Like
Jacob
they're
McDonald
almost
was
all
playing
those
forward.
guys are under like a big portion of that blue line is under 25.
Not to the least of which you will have how many kids in with the CUDA right now?
Yeah,
And
no, but I'm talking about the Sharks. Like
no, I know, but I mean
specifically
you
about the
have,
Sharks.
but I mean you have the Sharks, but you also have the CUDA and juniors down the road. It's a very young defense, which is nice to see.
Yeah, but I mean, like, sure, like, obviously, like, there's good prospects, but I think when people are talking about like a youth movement and like playing the kids on the blue line is where that's actually happening more than anywhere else. To the point now where in Kniejob, there's another guy, to the point now where I think, like obviously McDonald came back into the lineup tonight. Matt Benning's almost coming back. Like the Sharks are gonna have to make some really interesting decisions as far as lineup go because they're gonna have to either send a guy through waivers if they don't want to send through waivers, or they are going to have to send another, guy down who might make people angry because they don't have to clear waivers and then just play all the defensemen that they're going to have, getting back into the lineup at forward positions to try and keep them all with the club, which I don't understand.
Yeah. Because I mean, when Benning gets back, and I can't see Vlasic staying on the bench or staying in the press box too much. Granted,
no, I mean that'll change. Like they're gonna
right.
eventually let him out of jail. But
you feel shame.
Yeah, Vlasic. I mean, I Vlasic's gonna play again. Like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Yeah. But still, like when you have all these guys that that they covet, because again, like for a long time they're playing Jacob McDonald at forward. Why? Because they didn't want to send anyone down. So when Matt Benning comes back, I'm fascinated to see what they do.
Right.
I mean, obviously, like they don't. It's only getting more tricky. Lindblom comes back, they probably just send him down. No big deal. But it's the defense that makes me curious because it seems like they're just so hell bent on not sending D-men down.
Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting thing that's going to happen very, very soon. Just kind of going through some of the comments in the chat. I love the name Slippery Pete Propagandist. I think I know who you are, so nice. That Timo trade is starting to look better as the season progresses, though. Yeah, I mean, to have a Hochtiuk is nice, and then you have Mukmudulan down.
I really like Mukmudulan's game with the CUDA. As ass as the CUDA have been, I've really liked Mukmudulan's game.
Yeah. You have Darren Collings. Blackwood has been great against the Canucks in his New Jersey days. I believe this is his first loss against Vancouver. So yeah, he played fairly well. 37 saves on 40 shots tonight.
Yeah,
wasn't awful, but don't pull an Urban.
I don't think again, there's like a lot of just dumb mistakes. I question why he was so deep into that on the first goal. I don't like the second goal, and I think his play kind of starts the train wreck that was the second goal. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Aaron Jacks, they can lose all they want this year, just except this team is not what they were 10 years ago. Yep. Absolutely. 10 years ago, we were talking a sweep with the Sharks. So, Darren, I don't know why there wasn't. Yeah, they're just not a stoppage there. And I'm thinking that they just went so late in that they just decided to scratch at the rest of it on there. So
it's weird. Yeah.
Dave mentioning a match penalty is minimum 1 game suspension. So Hoglander is getting the hammer. They can rescind that.
They can rescind it though. We've seen it rescinded before. I doubt they rescind it because again, player safety is made up of former players, and players universally hate fucking slewfoots.
Yeah, that's the tough part of it all. I mean, usually I think it's an automatic thing, and then they can rescind it in the long term, which will probably happen to the Sharks because that's how it usually works.
Like I've seen some nonsense like he's gonna get like 5 games. He's not gonna get 5 games. He might get a couple.
Yeah, it could be a
Slewfoot again. Dirty.
Yeah, but I mean, the Sharks' luck with player safety and former Duck George Peros hasn't exactly been
player safety hate.
Fortunate.
Like yeah, but like again, I don't. Everyone thinks that the league has it in for them and player safety has it in for them.
Absolutely, they do.
I don't know. I'm not wasting breath on it.
No. So that's pretty much it for the game. Sharks lose 3-1 to Vancouver. Now they get set for their pre-American Thanksgiving clash in Seattle against the Kraken, who I guess got a point tonight, but nothing else than that. Kraken have been struggling too. They haven't been off to the start that they were expected last year.
Well, yeah, because again, that's like I said, like there's a lot of parallels between the team that we're playing now and the team that we're playing the next game, in that last season Seattle kind of had this thing where everything they shot at the net just kind of kept going in. And this season hasn't been so kind to them.
Yeah.
And I think, it's I still think it's going to be a good game. I think Seattle's an okay team to play. Like I think the styles should be like, it should make for an interesting game. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm completely lost my train of thought here.
We're just demoralized, like the team, since
right.
night 1 in Prague. This team's been demoralized. Oh, when I heard that, I was like, oh shit, we're in trouble here. Okay, but I mean, I digress. CUDA play tomorrow.
They do. They play the San Diego Gulls, so that'll be interesting.
How are the Gulls doing? Have they recovered since Roy Sommer left?
You know what? I haven't really been paying attention because I just know that, like, if look, the Barracuda, there's no point checking the standings. The Barracuda are bad. Like, they're even in the Pacific Division, where San Diego Gulls are the worst team in the AHL. So, hey.
Nice. So you're telling me there's a chance.
I'm telling you there's a chance.
A Sharks organizational team can get a 4th win tomorrow.
I think they are the worst team. They are the worst team in the AHL.
Nice. So, fingers crossed on that. Ian will be on it with the coverage on the Twitter feed. So, Sharks don't pick up a point, so they are sitting at 3-14-1. Have a nice 3-point lead on Chicago for the worst record in the NHL. With Edmonton at 11, I'm like, dude, this is not shaping up too good for the Sharks. Oh, God. Because we all know what's going to happen. Just the Sharks' luck is going to Sharks' luck. God.
It's Edmonton makes me like this whole Edmonton thing just amuses me to no end, right? Because it's like I can't see them being this bad all year.
Yeah. Right?
And it was kind of like it didn't. I think the coaching change is interesting, but I don't think it matters. Like I don't think that the Edmonton Oilers are where they are because of coaching. I think they've just been a poorly constructed team. Like they're a shitly constructed team who seems to be like, oh, this guy didn't work out in Toronto. Let's sign him for 5 years.
And give a $3 million bonus to Connor Brown for playing 10 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know, man. Like it was funny, right? Because like obviously, like I think that the Oilers they won a couple games with Knobloch taking over, right? And it was like it was the most predictable thing, right? Because and obviously now that they lost again, it's the end of the world because that's the way the hockey goes. But like I don't know. This team's going to be fine, and then Knobloch's going to get a ton of credit for like the Oilers just, not even scoring everything that goes at the goal, but just like scoring a normal amount for the amount of shit they put on the goal. I think they have the worst shooting percentage in the league right now. Like, you think that's honestly going to stay that way with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl? Do you think that's going to be a thing all season? No. And then when it normalizes, they're going to oh man, Knobloch's so great. Poor, Jay Woodcroft didn't know what he was doing. No, man, they just couldn't fucking put the puck in the net.
No, yeah, it's just a horrible time for McDavid and Draisaitl.
And they can't, and more importantly, they can't fucking buy a save.
Yeah. Denver Doyle, I think the Oilers are going to be desperate and trade a first for a goalie soon.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing, right? Like, this is a team where like everyone's like, oh no, they're gonna steal the Sharks. They're gonna steal Celebrini from the Sharks, and it's like, no, because like this team isn't trying to be bad. Like this team, they have to go for it. Like when you have the guys that you're paying, all these guys, like you have to go for it.
Right.
There's not to be like, oh no, actually we're gonna tank this season now. But
so
fuck off.
So
or the people like, oh well, they're just tanking this season. No, they're not tanking this season. They're just not having a good go of it. Like this team is built to do stuff.
Yeah. Now Blackwood's supposed to be a reclamation project for the Sharks. I mean, do they even call Ken Holland, or do they even call Ken Holland anymore? Is it Jim Jackson running the show and Ken Holland's the puppet until he gets fired?
I mean, he's on the last year of his deal, I think, and they should walk him. I don't know, man. The Oilers have done such a good job. I don't know how this became fucking Oilers after.
I know, right?
All of a sudden, but like
the Sharks played so bad. That's why
it is amazing to me how the Oilers have just like gone from bad to worse in GMing. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you get a player like Connor McDavid and somehow fuck it up this bad.
Right. And then you surround him with McDavid friends and family. It almost seems like they have a feeling that McDavid's going to want to consider maybe consider departing. I don't know. Kevin Lacey, good to see you, bud. Do you think Edmonton or anyone else tries to resurrect Nedeljkovic? Preferably not Edmonton, because we need to trade Blackwood for their first round pick unprotected.
Blackwood's not going anywhere. Let me stop this nonsense. Fuck's sakes.
Just pressing that button, bud.
I don't know. Like, I think Edmonton has to like go all. They can't gamble. They need a solution. They need to find a team who's having a goalie who's having just an absolute, maybe not the best go of it, that has some sort of track record. I think anyway. Like, I don't think Nedeljkovic like solves anything for them. I think it's just they go from like it's just another guy that they hope can stop a puck. Like they called up Calvin Pickard. They've tried Stuart Skinner. I don't know why they gave Jack Campbell $1 million. Like I just think they have to go after somebody who maybe, I don't know, like there's talk of like, I don't know why the Flyers seem to want to trade Carter Hart, but I feel like that's a guy they have to go after, right? Something that they think that has still a little bit of cachet with them and hope they can replicate. Maybe, or maybe a guy like John Gibson, although I think the tires, there's too much wear on those tires, but I could be wrong. Again, I think, you could kind of say like, okay, well maybe that could work. But again, they're just such a shitly constructed team. That blue line is ass. Yeah. And the goaltending isn't like, the goaltending obviously hasn't helped them, but like, it's not like they've had a ton of help in front of them either.
No. And of course, similar to the Sharks was struggling offensively. It doesn't help.
But yeah, I'm saying Jesse, like I know, Dave, I know you're fucking with me. And Jesse, like Blackwood is the guy right now. It doesn't matter. It even if Blackwood doesn't end up being the guy when this is all turned around, like it's too soon to just throw him overboard, I think, especially when, like, at some point you're going to want to have some stability in goal. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to trade him for Jack Campbell and then have the tandem of Jack Campbell and Capo Kakinen until you walk Kakinen into free agency and then have 4 years left of Jack Campbell?
Right.
Like, fuck, come on.
Yeah, that's the tough part, especially
at $5 million or whatever the fuck he's making.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and he can't make a save
I don't
in
think
the
it's
AHL
like,
either.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Jack Campbell because as bad as he's been, like, I feel bad. Like, he's clearly struggling, and I mean, like, at the end of the day, Jack Campbell's a fucking human being. So I kind of feel like it's, I did enjoy watching at first with this morbid fascination, but now he's gone to the AHL. And the fact that we don't play the Bakersfield Condors until like the end of fucking December, like, where's the justice?
He'll find his game then.
By then, for sure.
Darren asking, is Lindblom injured? Yes, he is on IR as we speak. So we'll see. Eventually, he'll likely go back to the Barracuda soon. In that nature. I don't. I just, it's going to be interesting what's going to happen now and what's going to happen Wednesday night as the Sharks take on the Seattle Kraken. Kraken, still having a tough time. They've been coming on a little bit. They're 7-8-5. They got a point tonight, so they're at 19 points. They currently hold the number 2 wild card spot. Despite the loss, the Ducks are now a point back in the West, and so are the Desert Dogs. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, that was good. So we shall see, and what will go on down the road, but the Sharks lose this one tonight. So with that, I think that'll give us time to wrap things up. In case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check this out on tealtownusa.com, or you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. You could see them all there, along with many others. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to ring that bell so you can be notified when we do go on the air next time. And of course, if you aren't watching us live, leave a comment down below to, give us your comments on this game. And
yeah, I need to start hitting up the YouTube comments a little bit more. I've been slacking this year.
How dare you?
I know.
How dare you? You do Teal Tinted Glasses. You do After Dark. You gift the Barracuda games. Like, seriously. You need to do more, damn it.
I need to do more. I need to antagonize people, not only live on the air, but antagonize them in the comments too.
Dear Lord. God. It's like he doesn't have a job or something. I don't even, come on. Ian, let's wrap this up as we get set for the Kraken coming up with those snazzy Winter Classic jerseys. Vegas on the other end.
Wait a second here. Lindblom is better than Hoffman. Can't agree with that. Lindblom hasn't even played. He played one game. Like, what are we, like? He's been fine on the CUDA. He's played one game. Like, he hasn't been given the opportunity to be bad on this team this season. All right, I'm done.
You sure?
He played one game. Like, okay. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But Lindblom's been rough. Hoffman's been rough, with the exception of the previous 2 games entering tonight.
Yeah, right. Meh.
And the show. Damn. All right. He's at Ian Blogs Hockey. I'm at Puck Guy 14. We got to get out of here before Ian gets mad.
I just feel like it's gonna be one of those shows where I drag the end out for 20 minutes on nonsense, and I can't do it.
I would make a joke, but I'll save it for off air. All right. Until then, thanks for watching with us. We'll be back on Wednesday following Sharks and Kraken from Seattle. Until then, keep it real, keep it teal.
Are we going to be in Seattle? Wait a minute. We're going to be in Seattle?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I got tickets for no kidding. No. We won't be in Seattle. Wishful thinking, because I'd love to go to Climate Pledge Arena again. That was a fun barn to experience. But,
yeah, so it won't be from Seattle. It'll just be after the Seattle game, because unless I'm getting on a plane tomorrow, and someone got me a passport record time.
Hey, AJ, we need stipends to make this happen. I'm just saying. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal, and of course,
did somebody say Vancouver?
Good night, everyone.